has been reporting for us throughout this morning on the Malvern lootings. Gillian, you've now moved to another area. What's the story?
Good afternoon to you, Desiree. Oh no, it's still morning. Apologies. We have now moved to Turfontein to Hay Street, and we are unable to set up our camera or bring you any visuals from this vantage point where we are at.
Oh, wow.
What we are seeing now is that there are close to more than 100 people who have now started looting in this particular road, again targeting foreign shop owners. And we know that because there is not enough manpower, police manpower, if we set up, we will be targeted. We will be, we could just be at risk by doing that. So that's why we are unable to bring you these visuals, and we are actually sitting in the car. A lot of people are just watching on as this hordes of people have started moving from shop to shop, and it's a lot of people that have now started targeting the foreign shop owners. We're one of the first media here, and very, very few police. Police actually can't do anything. It doesn't look like they can contain the situation. When I spoke to them earlier, they were moving towards what they call Main Street, where they heard there was some similar situation happening there. Now they are back here, but not enough resources and too dangerous for us to actually get out here, Desiree, to set up our camera, put on our live view, and be basically targeted by these mobs who are moving from one foreign shop to another, looting, breaking down garage doors, breaking down burglar bars. A lot of people just looking on at this violence as it's just unfolding right before our eyes.
Gillian, what's the word on the street? Is this just citizens reacting, or is this some sort of organized criminal activity?
I think this is in the wake of what has now happened in Jeppe yesterday. It's moved to Malvern. We heard that Stefina or Mahlako Komani talking about similar attacks in Tembisa. What we saw, I think, about a week and a half ago in Soweto. I think this is now spilling over into these surrounding areas where there's almost like the sporadic attacks or copycatting of what we had now seen coming out of yesterday's situation, and the ones that we saw happening from midnight last night now spilling over here. A lot of obviously foreign shop owners saying it's largely criminality linked to this. Police still, trying to figure out what could have sparked off the Malvern one. And now we're seeing the Turfontein flaring up, as well as Tembisa that police say they have contained. But from what we can understand, it's just the violence now erupting in surrounding areas from that to Malvern, Desiree.
And
we are now seeing more police moving in. There's now a second police bucky, a tactical police moving in. Still not enough manpower from where we are standing for that situation to be contained. As I said, hordes of people, still very quite volatile. This is the most volatile that I've seen. When I did get out of the car earlier, people were just running in all directions. This was shortly after two police had walked in with foreign shop owners to those shops that were being targeted. Police then left, but a few of them are now back at the scene. Trying to see how they can contain the situation. If I am going to do a crossing later, I'm going to talk to the police spokesperson who is on the scene now, as I can see, Desiree, and then she'll be able to give us some sort of clear update. But if I get out of the car, you can hear from where I'm standing. There's a lot of noise, a lot of disruption. Them pulling garage doors, gates, moving from one shop. Who they red up and bullets are being fired now. There's police moving in there, trying to disperse those crowds, trying to disperse quite a few of them who have now started attacking other shops there. But as I said, the situation is very volatile.
Are you still able to talk to us, Gillian?
I'm still able to talk to you. I am at a safe spot right now. My cameraman is out there. We were unable to link to you guys, but from where I can stand, from where I'm standing, we are in a safe position.
You're talking about it being the most volatile you've ever seen. Do you think that what separates this one from the previous ones we've been reporting on is that with the other ones you went in after the fact, and this one you're seeing live?
This is very fresh. This is happening as I'm telling you. Police are standing at one point, and those mobs are still moving into those shops from a different point. The one rubber bullet, I'm not sure if you heard the few rubber bullets that were fired now, hasn't really done much to make them move away from the area where they have been moving from shop to shop. But volatile in the sense that it's happening right now. Very few police manpower on the ground versus the mobs that are just wreaking havoc, and a lot of anarchy here in Turfontein in High Street, Desiree.
Gillian, one is getting the sense that police are overwhelmed by these looting sprees. Are the looters responding to the fact that police are there now?
From what I can see, definitely police are overwhelmed in this situation. It seems that they're not really fazed by police presence. But it's like two police vans here. They're not really fazed by police who are standing at one point and them really doing as they please on the other side. From where I can see, it's something like more than 300 people that have congregated there, breaking down metal doors. Them using pangas, adamant that they're going to, get into those shops from where I'm standing. We are going to try and set up our camera, but with little risk, so that we can actually show you visually what I'm seeing now from where I'm standing, and verbalizing to you telephonically. Really, they're not faced by police at all. So they are going into that shop no matter what, where the police are standing from the side where they are. They're not really faced by police. As I said, outnumbered, definitely outnumbered, and they're just continuing to break down the burglar bars as well as the doors from where they are standing.
Gillian, just for the benefit of a viewer who's just joined us, remind us again where you are and what's happening. We are in Turfontein. This is about, if you're driving by car, it's also easterly side of Johannesburg. It's not far from Melbourne. And with the area that we are in now is High Street, and there's also quite a lot of foreign shop owners here, and all of this is really happening in the wake of what we saw, the aftermath from Melbourne, where shops were looted and set alight, and car dealerships were set alight. But it's also what we've seen in recent weeks with all the attacks on foreign nationals. Police just standing at a distance. All they can do right now is watch as these mobs are moving in, armed with whatever they can to break down those burglar doors, those garage doors, and really just anarchy, kicking down doors. I don't know if you can hear the sound, just them kicking, wanting to get access into that foreign-owned shop and not really going to walk away until they get inside. They seem very angry, and I think that is our fear with wanting to set up a camera, as that when they do see us rolling, we could then be targeted. They're now kind of managing to get into that particular foreign shop. They basically breaking down that garage door. But these are the scenes that we've seen in all these areas where we've heard these kinds of reports coming out about attacks on foreign-owned shops. Desiree. Well, Gillian, stay safe and let us know once you're able to set up your camera.
Will do.
Our colleague there, Gillian Pillay, coming to us from the south of Johannesburg in Turfontein. It's one of those areas that have a bigger concentration of foreign nationals. So seemingly these people who are conducting these operations know exactly which places to target. She says she's not able to put up a camera right now because the situation is quite tense. We'll try and go back there as soon as we're able to.